So we're excited for today's episode. We hear from Mary Cousley, a substitute teacher, interior designer, turned highly successful real estate agent. Mary brings some strong pro tips for getting started in the industry that apply to anyone getting started. Mary is recognized as a Rookie of the Year in her brokerage and with RAS Media, having completed 13 transactions for $3.5 million in sales volume in her first year. Tune in to hear how she did it.
Welcome to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission, where we dive into real stories, big wins, and early lessons learned from highly successful rookie real estate agents and brokers. This is the podcast where we explore how real estate transforms lives, one home at a time, by sitting down each week with a new agent or broker who has found incredible success in their first year. Your hosts are instructors and leaders at Colibri Real Estate School, one of the largest real estate educators in the nation, where we focus on helping people like you get started or find continued success in their careers.
Hello, and welcome to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission, brought to you by Colibri Real Estate. I'm your host, Tina Lapp. I've been in real estate education for over 30 years. I was licensed originally in 2002, and my passion is helping individuals enter and thrive in their careers.
Hey, welcome everybody. Glad you could join us today. I'm Andrew Robinson, also with Colibri Real Estate, where I lead product. Excited to have you hear this wonderful story today.
We are here today with Mary Cousley. Mary, will you take a moment to introduce yourself, where you live, and what company you're with?
Hi, I am Mary Cousley. I live in Edwardsville, Illinois, and I am with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Select Properties.
That's wonderful. And Mary, what were you doing before you became a real estate agent?
Before I was an agent, I was most recently a substitute teacher, while also remaining busy with my interior design business, which started over 25 years ago, and also spending time being a mom.
That is awesome. So you've had a lot of life experience before you chose to enter a real estate career. What inspired you to get started and pursue real estate?
I've always loved home design and decorating. And as a teacher, I've always loved helping people. So I would say in addition to that, my husband and I have bought and sold several homes through the years. So we've spent a lot of time looking at homes and the ways we can improve them. I think all of this combined was the guide to my decision to enter real estate.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I've heard other people like that story happens. What was your inspiration, or was there a specific person or moment in time that influenced your decision?
Yes. So after retiring from full-time teaching, I took a job with my mother-in-law at her gift shop, Dorman's Gifts and Interiors. And there I spent time helping clients pick out perfect accessories to decorate their home. And this was probably what lit the fire to focus on interiors and ultimately real estate.
That makes sense. So take us back to that moment. You decide, hey, I'm going to give this real estate thing a shot. How'd you choose a school? Like, how'd you get started?
So I was teaching at the time, and while still maintaining my design business. COVID sent us all to our living rooms for a while. So for months, I thought, what better time to buckle down and get my real estate license? I took the classes and just used that isolation time to learn the business.
Oh, that completely makes sense. I mean, you're running a business and you get a little tiny break from your full-time job and decide to take on a third job.
Right.
How'd you pick what school you went to?
So a longtime friend, Kevin Botterbush, he was an instructor at the local community college, and he taught real estate classes, and he's been a mentor ever since, and I'm so glad I chose that route.
Oh yeah. No, that's really common. I think, mentors really help a lot of successful agents get into the
Definitely.
career.
Definitely.
So, I mean, this was during COVID. Did you go to in-person class or was this online?
No, no. And it was a challenge. During COVID, our classes were all via Zoom. So that situation didn't always allow for the collaboration with fellow students.
Hmm.
So that was a little tough. We couldn't really work together to help each other. And we couldn't be together. So it was a little challenging, but we made it work.
Yeah, no, I think that's good to hear. I mean, a lot of people take it online. It's good to hear that you were successful.
Thank you.
So, Mary, as you were entering that, like you've got a lot of life experience, you've done some really exciting things, and now you're changing, you're going into real estate. This is very different from what you've done before. What were your expectations going into your first year?
Truthfully, I didn't have high expectations in my first year. I just really wanted to know the business and to really self-teach, So I attended as much outside training as I possibly could. I was in the office as much as I could to learn from my fellow colleagues and just being a good listener and to just try to navigate from there. I figured my first year I would just be positioning myself to set myself up for success in the future. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So that's good. You wanted to take the time, learn the business.
Why do you think you exceeded your first year expectations?
Honestly, because I gave it 110%. I was in the office. I took part of every training session that was available to me. I was there most every day at my office, just listening, asking questions, volunteering to do open houses so I could get nose to nose with potential clients. I think I just really was just craving to get right in there and jump in feet first and really start. And it took off. It really was beneficial for me to be so proactive with my beginnings.
Any memorable or maybe even funny experiences from your early days while you were learning the business?
Yes, I do. I would say wearing my name tag has been just one of the keys of my success, really. People will stop me and they want to talk about real estate. They want to know what's going on in the market. And so I realized the importance of wearing that name tag after so many times of being stopped, and also how relationships with others can lead to real estate and opportunities. There were two examples of that early on. A family acquaintance had passed away, and so I took food to the family, and I was on my way to an open house. So I had my name tag on, and they did not realize I was an agent. So next thing you know, they asked me if I could list the house. So that was a plus. Another time I was at an open house and I was wearing my name tag, and I struck up a conversation with a very sweet couple that came in, and they realized I was their granddaughter's teacher. So yeah. So anyway, I have helped them. We just really hit it off. I helped them sell their home, purchase a home, and now we're working on another project together at the moment. So it's been great.
What a wonderful way. It is all about connecting with people and making sure that they know you can help them with a real estate transaction. Just awesome. As simple as wearing your name tag.
Yes.
As you were going through your first year, did you have a mentor or support system that helped you navigate through?
I wouldn't say there was a formal mentor. Or there wasn't really an organized support system, but my managing broker did a good job of training me on everything, and from the documentation to I would say, navigating real life experiences, she was a big asset to me.
That's really good to hear. A lot of people have mentors, and it's impressive that you accomplish this much without a dedicated mentor. I imagine you faced some challenges. Can you talk us through any of those challenges that you faced in your first year?
Yes. So some of the challenges, I would say, were COVID. That was kind of when I started. And so, let's see, some of the challenges was just, not really being able to, be together with people and learn and grow. So that was a bit of a challenge. I think learning the various ways to help buyers stand out with all offers too, because of the low inventory, the higher interest rates, and getting our offers to stand out, with whether it was an appraisal gap or whether it was, escalation clauses or, creative ways to do just inspection responses. So also strategically getting them set up for success was a major help. Let's see, getting pre-approved early. I always encourage my buyers to do that. We always have buyer rep agreements signed and in place, so we're ready to hit the ground running. Staying on top of new listings, and just to let them know not to wait. If they see something that they like, don't wait. I know people are waiting for the interest rates to go down, but don't wait. So those are just some challenges. Yes.
Yeah, that's wise advice.
So you did all these things. You wore your name tag. Mm-hmm. What else did you do to market yourself as a new agent? What worked for you? What channels maybe were most effective for you?
Well, I would say I have a pretty big digital presence, digital marketing. And obviously just the social media websites, that's always just free advertising. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I have my own personal website. So just, I would say mostly that.
Yeah. And how did you use those? Like, were you connecting with people? Were you talking about the fact that you're now a licensed agent? What were some of the ways that you use those platforms?
Well, I developed a CRM, and I have a fairly large CRM. I have probably 500 people in it. And I'm from a small town, and being a teacher and just the baby of 6 children, I know a lot of people, so it's been helpful. And so I kind of just use those resources to really build my brand and my relationship and just kind of put myself out there, which sometimes it wasn't easy,
Oh, I'm sure. And the fact that you, big family, small town, know a lot of people certainly helps for sure. And I know it's not always easy, and you overcame that, which is amazing. So outside of the marketing pieces of this, what other strategies or tactics did you use to achieve success so quickly? Did you target a certain audience? What were some of the things that you did?
Well, I would say I focus a lot on my neighborhood. I go to all the board meetings, and I'm very involved in our neighborhood with the landscaping committee and the road committee, and just different various ways I can get involved in my and local community. My husband and I do a lot of community service, and that has helped, I think, just, meet people and just, do good things and make the surrounding area a better place.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's giving back and also sort of expanding your sphere of influence and your connections. What a great way to do it, because everyone's a winner in that. That's beautiful,
definitely.
Mary.
Thank you.
So when you connect with a new client or potential client, what do you do to build the relationship with them?
I think trust is so important in this business, and being there for them, 7 days a week, really. This job is a commitment, and I had to wait until the time was right to do this job so I could give it my all, my 110%. I don't have little kids running around anymore. I don't have, it's time for me, and it's time for me to do this. And this is what I've always wanted to do. So I think being there for my clients, which you have to have that healthy life balance too. But I think just getting them to feel comfortable with working with you, to let them know that you will be available. It's not going to take days to get back with them. Making it a full-time job and not just a hobby, I think is super important, because a lot of people in real estate, it is a second job, which is great. But for me, I chose to make it my full-time career. And I almost think that if you really want to be successful at it, you really need to kind of give it your all and be available and right.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure that shows through to your clients, right? They know you're committed and you're trying to help them be successful. I think you mentioned having repeat business from one of your early customers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other stories or interesting client interactions that you could share that stand out?
I do. Let me think here for just a minute. I had a gentleman, and it was the first house I sold. Sweet, sweet man. And he had a wife who had passed away, and they lived by this house. And every time they would drive by it, she always wanted to purchase this home. It had the grapevine on the fence. It was just such a quaint little place. And so after she passed away, I helped him purchase this home. And so he was able to make this home everything. I know, it was just so sweet, but he was able to make it everything she wanted. So it was very special. It was a very emotional closing, to say the least.
Yeah, I'll bet. I mean, it sounds that way. It's a great story.
Yeah.
So you mentioned just a moment ago that you are committed, that this is your career, it's your time. And so, you got off to a fast start, faster than I think you expected.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're in it, and you've got your sea legs, you know what's going on. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So I guess in 5 years, I just see myself doing what I'm doing now, much more fluently and successfully. And, I think I just also would expect to help newer agents and mentor them and just teach them the tricks of the trade, and offer support and guidance to them. So
you mentioned then how you did seminars or education. Are there other ways you educated yourself in the beginning?
In the beginning, yes. Just through all of the office training. This year, I did achieve my luxury certification. I did my PSA, which is a pricing strategy class. I got my certification in that. And then I also did my ABR class. I got certified in that. So 3 certifications in 2024. So I'm always striving to be better and just, learn as much. I'm like a sponge. I just want to soak it all up.
Are there any tips or tricks you want to share with the audience who might be aspiring real estate agents getting some early practice?
Yeah, I would have to say the biggest piece of advice I would have for agents is encourage people to do real estate. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful career. Make sure you love what you do. You want to be sure that this is right for you, because it is a big commitment. And make it a career and not a hobby, as I mentioned. I think in order to achieve success, that you really have to do that. So make sure that they know as much about a possible area that they can know. Don't try to sell real estate in areas you're not really familiar with. So I would say that would be my advice.
Oh, that's really good advice. And I know you put that into practice. You mentioned being on your neighborhood committees and knowing your neighborhood really well. I mean, clearly you're going to know that area extremely well, better than anybody else from the outside.
Definitely.
So that's great advice. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So Mary, let's have some fun. We're going to go into a lightning round a little bit to learn more about who you are. I'm going to ask you some questions, 60 seconds, just like I said, not all about real estate, some of it about real estate.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the first one. Recently, you were published in a magazine. Can you tell us about that?
So yes, it's a magazine. It's called Real Producers. And they chose me to be in their September edition. So that was quite an honor. And it was a lot of fun. We had photo shoots and I got to meet the crew and just a lot of great people. They do a lot of good things for the community. And we've had luncheons and different, they do fun things as well. So that has been pretty special. Yeah. So,
well,
and
congratulations.
Thank you. They highlighted, so I was Rookie of the Year for our Berkshire Hathaway offices in Illinois, Missouri, I think there are 11 offices, 2 in Illinois and 9 in Missouri. So I was Rookie of the Year for that. So they that was kind of the spotlight, like a rising star. So that's what it was about, but it was a lot of fun.
Congratulations. Thanks. And well deserved. That is fun. I'm glad you shared that. So turning a little bit to who you are, what is a book that you've read that you would recommend to the audience, or maybe that just is special to you personally?
Well, I think for real estate, since that's pretty much all the books I have been reading lately, to self-educate myself, The Golden Handoff is a great book. And it focuses on the importance of passing on your legacy to another agent and to ensure that your clients are not feeling lost. I think that, when agents do retire or step out of the business, I think it's important that they have someone next in line to take over. So
that's great.
It's a win-win for them too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do not know that book, but I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah.
So if we had a time machine and you could go back to the day that you started this journey, wouldn't that be nice, right? What advice would you give yourself?
I would say be patient. Know to expect the unexpected. And I think so many agents don't realize this, and I didn't early on. No deal is done until you get to that closing table. So a lot can happen in between all that time. So
yeah, words to live by as a real estate professional, that expect the unexpected, right?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. It's all about your ability to work through those unexpected situations. So, and it sounds like you do a great job at that with a lot of patience and professionalism.
Thank you.
If you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, I think it would be my dad. Actually, I know it would be my dad. He was a real estate attorney many years ago. And more importantly, he was my guiding light through most things in life. And I know he would continue to offer helpful advice on anything that I would have needed. So,
yeah, that's beautiful. Tell us about what you did at work yesterday.
It was a very busy day, and most days are not like this, I will be honest. So it was it was a long day. I had 2 listing agreements signed. I got my buyer under contract. I had a closing, and I met with my managing broker about my 2025 goals and my business plan. So long day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, what a day.
They're not always like that, I promise. But that just happened to be a busy day. Yeah.
That is a good day.
Thank
and
you.
A day that I think a lot of real estate professionals would love to have.
Yes.
So
I was excited.
That's great. So if our listeners would like to connect with you or follow your journey, where can they find you?
So I have a website, marycousleyhomes.com. They can log in there and get in touch with me. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I'm on all of them. So yeah, just anytime I can help anybody, I'm always willing to do that. And you know, they always say teachers and nurses make good agents because they do. They nurture people, they want to care for people and help. So anytime I can help anybody in their journey, I'm more than happy to do that. So
Thank you, Mary, for spending the time with us today and sharing your journey.
Thanks for listening to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission. We hope today's stories and insights gave you that extra spark to keep moving forward in your real estate career. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners like you. And don't forget you can watch this or other episodes on our YouTube channel. We'd also love to hear from you. Send your comments, key takeaways, or recommendations for future guests to unlockingrealestate@colibrirealestate.com.